Hello, Princess on a Pillow here. I am here to do a review on Love After Lockup. It's the premiere. It's season 4, episode 1, and it's titled Happily Ever After with a question mark. Okay, let's get into it. Trying to rearrange stuff over here. All right. First up is Indy and Harry. Okay. Indy and Harry, they were on Love during lockup. So now it's continuing because Harry got out of prison and now he's in the halfway house. So Indy is 29 years old and Harry is 24 years old. So Indy is older than Harry. By what? 5 years? Okay. Indy lives in Baltimore. Harry lives in Ohio. Indy is a makeup artist. Harry was in prison for robbery and kidnapping. And he was in for on the screen it says 3 years, but Indy said 4 years. So I'm going with 4 years. He was in for 4 years for kidnapping and robbery. Okay. So Harry right now is in the halfway house in Ohio, and he's getting out in 3 weeks. Now, at the end of Love during lockup, we found out that Harry got out of prison, went into the halfway house, and cheated on Indy. So at the end of the show, we saw them arguing, or her confronting him about his cheating. So now we pick up with the story with Love after lockup. We see her just waking up. She gets out of bed and Harry calls and he apologizes to her for cheating because apparently the night before they had a huge argument over his cheating. So he apologized to her now for cheating. As a matter of fact, before when they were arguing, he denied cheating on her. But now he's apologizing for cheating. I guess he decided to come clean. He told her that he made a mistake and that he loves her. She tells him that she loves him too, and she will pick him up at the halfway house. She'll go to Ohio and pick him up at the halfway house when he gets out. The next scene we see Indy, she's talking to her sister, and she tells her sister that Harry apologized for cheating and that she forgives him. Indy's sister told her that if she forgives him easily, then he'll easily cheat on her again. Indy told her sister that she is committed to making her relationship work, and Harry does not love the women he cheated with. She said, Harry loves me. That's what Indy said to her sister. In her confessional, Indy said that it would break her heart more if she walked away from Harry than if she stayed and fight for her happily ever after. Now, I seriously disagree with that. Okay? Hearts get broken all the time. And Indy's used to a broken heart. She has 2 baby daddies for 2 different kids. So she's used to heartbreak. I'm sure those 2 broke her heart. She's used to heartbreak. People get heartbreak all the time. It's an easy thing to get over with. I mean, it's not easy to get over it, but eventually you get over it. But she's saying she'd rather suffer through the relationship with Harry than suffer through a heartbreak, which she's already used to. If you suffer through the relationship with Harry, it's gonna be horrible. Because okay, Harry is 24 years old. He's been in prison for 4 years, so now he's out and he wants to sow his wild oats. He's gonna get somebody or somebody's pregnant. He's gonna bring home VD to her. He's gonna have women calling his phone. She's going to have to deal with all kinds of drama. She's going to deal with that and much more. She's going to have to deal with his disrespect, his mistrust in him. She's going to have to deal with anger. She's going to deal with drama. She's going to have so much to deal with instead of just breaking ties with him right now and go through a heartbreak for a month or so. But she's still going to have to deal with heartbreak messing around with, if she stays with Harry. So I don't understand her way of thinking. Anyway, the next scene, it looks like Indy's family is having a nighttime cookout. Indy friend Stacy is there, and they go off to talk. And Indy tells Stacy that she tells Stacy about Harry's cheating, and how she forgave Harry, and how she's going to Ohio to live with Harry. Stacy told Indy that she's not in love with Harry. She's just in lust with him because she hasn't been with him yet. And Indy said, "No, I am in love with him." She said she's not in lust with him. She insists that she is in love with Harry, and that she's moving to Ohio to be with him. So next thing you know, Indy's mother appears, and Indy tells her mother that she's going back to Ohio because in Love During Lockup, Indy's mom, her brother, and sister went to Ohio with her. So now she's telling her mother that she's going back to Ohio. And nobody's happy about it. Her mom's not happy, brothers, sisters, friends, nobody is happy about her moving to Ohio to be with Harry. But Indy's mother gives Indy a mace. Just in case Harry acts up. She needs to mace him. So the next scene is we see Indy and her 5-year-old daughter driving to Ohio. She says she's been driving for 6 hours. Indy said she'll be staying with Harry's sister, Lydia. But then all of a sudden, Indy's phone rings, and it's Harry. And Harry tells her, "You need to come pick me up tonight. I'm getting out at 12 midnight. She thought he was getting out the next day, but actually 12 midnight is the next day. So Indy, she tells him, okay, she'll pick him up, and she finally gets to his sister's house, Lydia. And right away, Lydia puts Indy to work in cooking. She asks her to chop up vegetables. Indy's been driving for 6 hours. But right away, Lydia puts Indy to work and have her chopping up vegetables. And Lydia asks Indy how long will her and Harry will be staying with her. And Indy tells her, we'll be staying with you for about 2 months because she has to get a job. They both have to get jobs, and they have to, find a place to live. So Indy told her about 2 months. But Harry's supposed to already have a job because I think you have to have a job while you're in the halfway house, and you have to have a job when you get out of the halfway house. So I don't know what's going on there. So he should already have a job. Yeah, so the sister wants them both to have a job. If they're going to stay with her, they both have to get a job. Because she don't want them just laying around her house while she's working, and that's fair. They can't be laying around her house, eating up her food, sopping up her electricity, watching TV, cable, and the AC or whatever time of year that is for them. The AC or the heat, they're, using all that up, and the poor sister is working her butt off to support herself. And it seems like the sister has a daughter, so she looks like she's a single parent. And she can't be supporting Indy's daughter and her brother and herself and her daughter at the same time. So, of course, they need to get jobs. So then Indy started talking about her psychic. And Lydia told her, you need to quit listening to your psychic and make decisions on your own. Of course. Why are you listening to a psychic? Everything the psychic tells her to do, she does. And then also Lydia tells Indy to stop having her daughter call Harry daddy. Because what if their relationship don't work? Then she has, she's been calling this man daddy, and the relationship may not work. But Indy tells her that, well, we are going to get married. Me and Harry, we're going to get married, and he will become her father when we get married. And that was that. The next scene, my tag for this shirt is irritating my skin over here. I should have cut it off before I start. It's really irritating. And it has a button attached to it. Daggone it. Anyway, the next scene is Harry's mother and sister comes over, and Indy leaves to go pick up Harry at the halfway house. Indy plans on making the beast with the 2 backs with Harry once he gets out, because Lydia never said that they couldn't do that under her roof. So anyway, Indy gets to the halfway house, and Harry runs out and they hug and kiss, but he doesn't have anything with him. He doesn't even have a knapsack with him. He has nothing with him. Where's his clothes? Because before he went to the halfway house, Indy had bought clothes for him, underwear, t-shirts, socks, stuff for him. And he comes out with nothing, because when you come out of prison, you have nothing, I guess, because you go in with nothing. So she had bought all that stuff with him, but then he comes out with absolutely nothing. Not even any paperwork saying he was released, nothing. Maybe he came out before and they made him refilm the scene and runs out without his stuff. That's probably what happened. Anyway, they hug and kiss. They get into the car and they drive away. And we saw Harry talking to the camera, and he said this is his second chance. But you know what? I bet you Harry's going to get himself in trouble again. And that's the end of Indy and Harry in this episode. Next couple is Taylor and Chance. Taylor is 26 years old. Chance is 41 years old. 15 years difference. So Taylor, she does payroll, and she's from Missouri. And Chance is in prison for burglary and grand theft. We see Taylor and her twin sister Bobby. They're at home and they're putting up Christmas decorations. Taylor said that she has known Chance for almost a year, and he went to jail for robbing a bank in a grocery store. And they show the robbery in progress. They showed him committing the crime. Taylor said he has been in prison for 8 years. Let's see how many. Yeah, he's been in prison for 8 years. Taylor said that she met Chance through her ex. Apparently her ex was locked up also, and the ex and Chance became friends, and I guess the ex got out of prison, and Chance was trying to get in touch with him and couldn't get in touch with him, so he called Taylor's phone. Him and Taylor starts talking to each other, and they develop a friendship, and then they became boyfriend and girlfriends. Que sera, sera. And she said Chance told her that he is related to Brad Pitt. Now, if you're related to Brad Pitt, hit Brad Pitt up for a loan. Don't rob a bank in a grocery store. That's what I would do. I would hit my famous rich relative up for a loan. But no, he decided to rob the bank in the grocery store instead. And I doubt very much he's related to Brad Pitt, okay? She said Chance is obsessed with her and he is getting out in a couple of weeks. And of course, the first thing he wants to do when he's released is make the beast with the two back on the side of the road. Taylor tells us that her twin sister Bobby lives with her, and she was also in prison for theft. Taylor is worried that Bobby and Chance won't get along. But would Bobby and Chance be able to be in the same area, the same house? Because I thought criminals couldn't be around criminals. I thought that was a parole violation. Well, what do I know? I don't know anything. Taylor said Chance hints to her that he wants to get married. But you know what I think is going to happen? I think Chance is going to get out of prison and he's going to check out Taylor's situation. He's going to see what she has. He's going to see that she has a house, a car, bank account, furniture. He's going to marry her, and then he's going to take her for all she's got. That's what I think is going to happen with her and Chance. Yeah. Because remember, Chance is a thief. Anyway, next scene. Taylor picks up her kids. We see Taylor picking up her kids. I think she's picking them up from school or daycare. One from daycare and the others from school, because one looks like she's too young for school, so maybe it's daycare. I don't know. Her kids are cute. So cute. She tells them that she's been hanging up Christmas decoration and she hung up a mistletoe. And one of her daughters said, "What is a mistletoe? A big toe?" That was so cute. So she has 3 daughters, ages 8, 5, and 4. Taylor said her first 2 daughters' dad died in a car accident. And she said her youngest daughter's dad takes her on the weekends, but she and him, they don't talk. So when they get home, Chance calls and he talks to the kids for a little while. Then Taylor goes in the bedroom and she's talking to Chance on the phone. And Chance tells her that a couple of inmates got early parole, and a correctional officer told him that he saw Chance's name on paperwork, some paperwork. And Chance thinks that he may be getting early parole also. I don't know how come he'd be getting early parole when he's getting out in 2 weeks anyway. Just stay the 2 weeks. Why are you going to get early parole? Get out an extra week? Stay there. You're already there for 8 years. So they talk about how they can make the beast with the two backs without the kids being around. Taylor says Chance hasn't done it in 8 years. So she thinks. And she says she hasn't done it in a year and a half. So they're both rusty. So Bob the Builder, Chance, tells Taylor that he wants to build a bedroom in the garage for Bobby. How dare him? Who the hell is he? He's just making changes like that? So Chance does not want Taylor's twin sister Bobby in the house with them. You see that? He's already taking chance and changing stuff up, and he's not even there yet. Taylor, please dump this loser ASAP, please, because he's coming here to take over. Next couple is Lacey and Antoine. Lacey is 38 years old. Antoine is 27 years old. 11-year difference, and she's older than him. So Lacey works in human resources, and she lives in Washington State. Antoine is in prison for possession of a stolen vehicle and a DUI, and he got 3 years. Okay, we see Lacey. She's at home and she's doing sipping and painting with her sister Naomi and her friend Sophia. She tells them that Antoine gets out of prison in a few weeks. Lacey tells us that she met her ex-husband when she was 18 years old, and he was her first. She said they were together for 20 years. So they were together 20 years. She was with him when she was 18. So that's 38 years, and she's 38 years old. So that's all she's known. Lacey said that when she first started talking to Antoine, he was supposed to be getting out. He was supposed to be getting out of prison in 9 months. But then he got caught violating himself with a cell phone, and his prison sentence got extended. But I thought, why is that a crime in prison? He was only touching himself. He wasn't touching anybody else. He was touching himself. So I don't understand why that was a crime. Why did he get in trouble for that? My son gave me this. It's either for Christmas or my birthday. My birthday's 3 days after Christmas, so cute. I love it. Okay. So Lacey said she met Antoine 5 years ago. She said she was friends with his mother, and the mother said they should meet, told her, you should meet my son. She said they started talking, her and Antoine started talking, and she fell hard for him. And then she filed for divorce. She filed for divorce from her husband of a 20-year marriage to mess with this guy in prison 11 years younger than her. Wow. Lacey said that Antoine has never been in a long-term relationship, and he has never had a long-term job. She said he will be staying at her house when he gets out. So Antoine seems to have two mothers, his biological mother and Lacey. She's 11 years older than him. He's never had a job, really, and he's never had a relationship. And he's not going to be moving in with her, so that's two moms for him. She's going to have to do everything for him because he doesn't have to do anything for himself. He's a mama's boy. Now he's got two mamas. Lacey said that her and Antoine's mother are friends, or were friends, but since she started dating Antoine, the friendship has deteriorated. The next scene is Lacey walks away from her house. I don't know why she did that, to talk to Antoine on the phone. That was weird. Anyway, Antoine said he was in the hole. He's in trouble again. And how come he can make calls when he's in the hole? I thought being in the hole is a punishment. He shouldn't be able to make calls. But he never said why he was in the hole. Lacey said that Antoine got an extended sentence for effing up and not following the rules. So if he can't follow the rules in prison, he couldn't follow the rules outside of prison. That's why he went to prison in the first place. And he's in prison and he can't follow the rules. And in 2 weeks he gets out. They need to keep him in there. He can't follow authorities. It's obvious that he can't follow authorities. He has no respect for rules. Rules, regulation, authority, no respect for that at all. So that means it's just going to go right back in. Right? You would think he would learn to behave, but guess not. So Lacey said she is worried that Antoine is going to be reckless and they will extend his stay again. That's what she's worried about. You have other things to worry about, Lacey. So Lacey asked Antoine what was he most excited about when he gets out. And he said he's excited about weed. He is excited for some weed and some kitty. She told him he's only going to last about 2 seconds. And he doesn't deny that. So Antoine asked her if she has seen his mother. And she said that her and his mother plan on meeting up before he gets out. He asked her if she and his mother were beefing. And Lacey told him that she is not beefing with his mother, but when the mother is drinking, Lacey keeps her distance. Lacey said that Antoine's mother is a little lost. She said Antoine's mother, Christy, struggles with drinking. Antoine tells Lacey that he wants to go hang out with his friends when he gets out. See, he doesn't want a job. He doesn't want any responsibility for anything. He just want to go hang out with friends when he gets out of prison. Where are these friends now while you're in prison, Antoine? They're living their lives, right? But your first priority when you get out is getting some weed, getting some kitty, and hanging out with your friends. Okay. But we're thinking that Antoine is the psycho. No. Come to find out, Lacey is the psycho. When she gets off the phone with Antoine, she goes to the house, she gets out paper and pen, and she writes a risque letter to Antoine and pretends to be someone else. I guess she's trying to see if he'd cheat on her. Who does that? Okay, for now, that is the end of Lacey and Antoine. Next couple is Kevin and Tiffany. Kevin is 38 years old. Tiffany is 32 years old. So it's only a 6-year difference. Kevin is a truck driver, and he's from Texas. Tiffany is in prison for possession of a controlled substance. And she got 10 years, but she's been in for 5 years at this point. Kevin meets up. We see Kevin. He meets up at a restaurant with his friend Lindy. And they hug. And I know she's wearing heels, but his head comes up to her eyes right here. I don't know if he's short or she's just overly tall. I don't know. Anyway, they sit down to eat, and they're mildly flirting with each other. And he tells her that he is dating an inmate. Kevin said that he met Tiffany on Facebook. He saw her picture and he thought she was pretty and attractive. So he started talking to her, and then she got in trouble and got locked up. He said they never got to hook up before she went in. He said he hopes that when she gets out, they can start building a life together. He said he wants a meaningful relationship, but he's not ready for babies. But in the meantime, he's whining and dining his friend Lindy, and he's feeding her steak. And in the same minute, while he's feeding Lindy steak, his ex-girlfriend, Kayla, I think her name is Kayla, is blowing up his phone. But he doesn't answer it. And Kevin said Kayla does not know about Tiffany. He said he basically wants to keep it that way. He doesn't want Kayla, his ex-girlfriend, to know about Tiffany. And apparently Kayla is a little firecracker. Apparently she keyed up a female's car that was parked outside of his Kevin's home. My advice is, ladies that's going over to Kevin's house, don't drive over to Kevin's house. Take a Uber. Since we got crazy Kayla over here scratching up people's car. Lindy told Kevin that he has too many women and he does not want to settle down. Kevin tells her that he's trying to change. Lindy told the camera that she has known Kevin for 15 years and he likes beautiful women who go crazy over him and chase after him. That's all men. All men like that. All men like beautiful women who go crazy over them and chase after them. He's just a man. Anyway, next scene, we see Kevin home. He's at home and he's packing up clothes for Tiffany because I guess he's going to take clothes to her at the halfway house because when you get out of jail, you have absolutely nothing. So he's got, lotion, soap, clothes, underwear, got stuff that he's packing up for her. So then his son, Kevin Jr., comes in and he's told Kevin Jr. that Tiffany has to be at the halfway house for about 30 to 90 days. And Kevin Jr. asks Kevin if he told Tiffany about all of his other lady friends. And Kevin said Tiffany knows about them. And he knows about the relationships that he has had. But when he'll stop dating all these other women when Tiffany is free. So Kevin Jr. asks him if he's sure he will be able to stop seeing other women. And Kevin says it's easy to cut off women. And as soon as he says that, his psycho ex-girlfriend Kayla calls. Kevin claims that Kayla is friends with benefits. And now he's trying to switch it to just friends. But Kayla is not hearing it. She's not having it. She's not having that. The producers asked Kevin when was the last time he was intimate with Kayla. And he says he doesn't know. How do you not know? I'm pretty sure it was recent. Probably was yesterday. So Kevin Jr. said, don't be friends with Kayla. Cut her off altogether. Cut her off completely. It's obvious you can't be friends with her. She's psycho and she won't go away. So cut her off completely. But he's not going to do that because he likes the attention. Even though Kayla is crazy, he still likes the attention she's giving him. So Kayla, she won't stop calling him. She keeps blowing up his phone. And Kevin Jr. tells his father, he said, block her. Well, of course, he goes, probably. He said, I'll probably do that. He'll probably do that. He's not going to do that because he likes the attention. So Kevin Jr. tells him that Kayla may make trouble for Tiffany in regards to her parole. While Kevin is in confessional, Kayla calls him and then she rings his doorbell. And Kevin goes outside to talk to Kayla. And Kayla is cussing and fussing. And she wants to know what's going on. I don't know if she wants to know what's going on because she sees cameras at his house. Or if she wants to know what's going on because he's trying to dump her. And she wants to know why he's trying to dump her. We don't know. All she keeps doing is yelling and screaming and cussing. Saying, what's going on? What's happening? That's all we get from her. He doesn't even talk to her. He's just saying, leave me alone. Stop coming over here. And it's just a mess. Well, anyway. The next couple is Rick and Ray Dean. Rick is 49 years old. Ray Dean is 29 years old. So there's a 20-year difference with these two. Rick is a teleservice operations manager, and he's from Texas. Ray Dean, that sounds like a Texan name, huh? Ray Dean is in prison for possession of a controlled substance and evading arrest. She's been in for 5 years, but I think she got 10 years, but she's only been in for 5 years. So Rick is a biker, and he said riding a bike is better than having sex sometimes. I can't imagine that, but that's what he said. Put on the fan, I'm a little hot. Okay. Then he said that he slept with over 300 women. How do you keep track of that? When do you start counting? I think he's lying. And the majority of them must have been bad lays, because he said riding his bike is better than sex sometimes. So the majority of these women he must not have had fun, being with them. Anyway, he said his dream woman is Ray Dean. Rick said he met Ray Dean in a motorcycle club. He said he was 40 and she was 18 or 19. He said they had 3 dates and they never made the beast with the 2 backs. They never got a chance to do that. They only had 3 dates. So she's not a part of the 300 count. She'll probably be 301. He said after they had their 3 dates, she vanished. He said 6 months later, he got a letter from her saying that she got arrested because she had a warrant for having meth, and she got 10 years. He said love grew over writing letters, phone calls, video visitation, and regular visits. He said at this point, it has been 5 years since she has been locked up. So Rick and his biker friends are at a sports bar, and he tells them that Ray Dean is getting out. Apparently, she came up on parole. Rick said Ray Dean will be going to a halfway house, so he doesn't know if he's going to be able to see her. He said she will be there for 2 months. Rick said Ray Dean lost a few family members while she was incarcerated. So since she really doesn't have any family, he wants his biker's friends to be her family. Rick said he was a junkie, and he was also locked up. Rick said he was a junkie from age 12 to age 18. Wow. He said the narcotics of his choice was, I'm going to spell this word because I'm not sure if I can say it on YouTube, Heroin. That was the narcotics of his choice. And he said the best feeling, he said it was the best feeling in the effing world. Rick's biker friends are worried that Ray Dean may influence Rick back into his bad habits, because they keep calling her a junkie. Rick told them that he has them to keep him on the straight and narrow, and basically he wants them to be Ray Dean's safety net. They want, the biker friends, to be her friends and to be encouraging of her not to, do her bad habits. So Rick goes home, and then he gets on the phone with Ray Dean, or Ray Dean calls him, and Ray Dean told him to make sure he has her stuff, like her clothes, her bras, her panties, shoes, socks, hairspray. And Rick said over 5 years of her being locked up, he has spent $10,000 on her. And Rick told Ray Dean that he can't wait to have her titties pressed against his back. I guess that's when they're on a motorcycle and she's behind him, she's going to be pressing her titties against his back. But you can't feel that. He's going to be wearing a leather vest or something. He's not going to be able to feel that. I think that's what he had on, was a leather vest. He's not going to be able to feel that. Anyway, Rick and Ray Dean starts talking about his junk, and he claims it's impressive. He said he has a powerful drive and he can please women. Next thing we know, Rick dropped his pants and his underwear to show us his junk. Thank God they had a little sensor thing over it. And he's pointing to it saying it's not sagging. See, it's not sagging. Thank God for that sensor tag to cover him up. That's the end of Radine and Rick. Last but not least, we have Kayla and Martell. Kayla is 33 years old. Martell is 37 years old. Okay, the guy is older and the age difference is only what? 4 years. Okay, so Kayla, she's in tech support and she lives in Georgia. Martell's crime was drugs and gun trafficking. So we see Kayla, she's in her apartment and it looks like she's packing up some stuff for Martell, I guess. They're all packing up stuff for the halfway house to take to their significant other. Her friend Hollywood comes over, and Kayla said in 2006 her friend introduced her to her cousin Martell. Kayla said that Martell is the love of her life. She said they have been dating for 13 long ass years. Yeah, that's some long years. She said they speak to each other a couple of times a day. She said that the last time she saw him in person was in 2018. She said she just recently moved to Atlanta for Martell's release. And then she showed Hollywood a picture of her engagement ring that she wants Martell to buy her. She said they talked about marriage, but they're not engaged. Kayla said Martell has to have a job before he comes out of the halfway house. Kayla said her engagement ring is going to cost between $30,000 to $40,000. That's what he's going to waste his money on? An engagement ring? And of course, she talks to Hollywood about her and Martell making the beast with the two backs when he gets out. That's all everybody can talk about. And she also said she will be ovulating. So apparently she wants him to buy this engagement ring, this expensive engagement ring, and she wants him to get her pregnant as soon as he gets out. So as soon as Martell gets free, after 13 years, more shackles is just going to be put on him by Kayla. Kayla said Martell asked her not to be intimate with anyone while he was away. But Kayla did not oblige him with that request. And that's the end of Kayla and Martell. This is the end of my review. I will be back next week with another review. Thank you so very much for watching. Princess on a Pillow here. Bye.